Hey now, ladies and gentlemen. Hey now, 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 hey now. Hour number 4, Carrie, of the line. You feel like this show's going by pretty fast?
It's been pretty quick.
It has gone by pretty quickly, but thank goodness it's the weekend and we get to relax. Trish said she'll take me to the Trump store tomorrow.
That's nice of her.
I know. We're going to go to the Trump store, baby. Get me some swag. I got so much Trump stuff. I've got Trump shirts that listeners have given me. Like, I got a bunch of it. I got a whole bunch.
Trump magnets for your car.
Yeah. I'm sure my car will be assaulted by some purple-haired lesbian white liberal.
I can't believe you said that.
At some point, it'll happen.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Let's see. 205-545-9950. Trucker Bobby says, Andrew, have you played the ShamWow Guy commercial? He's running for Congress. I haven't played it, but I did see it. And Carrie, if you want me to send it to you, his name's ShamWow Shlomi. Shlomi. There's a joke there. Why don't you slow me? I'm sending that to you now, Carrie. We'll just play this real quick. I think I mentioned it yesterday. He's running for Congress in Texas's 31st congressional district. The guy he's running against is John Carter. John Carter's the incumbent. John Carter is 84 years old. Okay? Which, for the ShamWow Guy, seems like a pretty good opportunity to go up against an old fossil like that who can barely get his words out. He's a lot like Joe Biden, if you will. This is the official campaign debut of the ShamWow Guy.
Hey, it's Vince. I'm running for Congress against this guy. Stop having a politician that's worse than Biden.
That's discretionary funding.
Instead, vote for me, a guy who's not half dead. I'm gonna soak up the swamp, clean the house, and pick up those liberal tears at the same time. I'm gonna slap chop the nuts out of the woke, making less blue-haired commies and more red-blooded Americans. Vote for me so I can represent you and the ones that can't stand up for themselves.
Vote for ShamWow!
Paid for by Offer Vince ShamWow Shlomi for Congress.
ShamWow Shlomi. So what's his real name? Do you know?
His real name is Vince Offer.
Vince Offer?
Oh, I have no idea.
No, I think that's it. It's let's see. Yeah. It's something Offer. Yeah, Vince Offer's his name. So you went from ShamWow Shlomi to Vince Offer. Good for him. I like it. Look like maybe does he have multiple political ads? Yeah, I probably better not go through all these. But nonetheless, Texas 31st Congressional District. Knock it out, man. Vote for the ShamWow Guy. Got my endorsement already off the top. Daniel's on the line. Daniel, what's up?
Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Hey now.
Man, wasn't Vince the guy that got his tongue bit off by like a prostitute or something like that? Wasn't that him?
What? I don't remember that.
Oh, bro, if I'm not mistaken, that's that guy, kind of a skinny guy. I'm driving the truck, can't see the video, can't see you on YouTube. But if he's that skinny guy from ShamWow, yeah, like got his tongue like bit off by a prostitute or something, like poured up his tongue or something.
Let's see.
About that dude.
I'm looking at. I just typed in Vince Offer prostitutes, and the headlines read, ShamWow Guy says he's done with prostitute. Another one says Vince Shlomi, the ShamWow Guy, was arrested in February of 2009 getting in an altercation with a prostitute. Vince Offer gets arrested for beating up a prostitute. I don't see anything about a tongue, though.
Yes. Seemed like there was something about him getting his tongue bit because if I'm 99% sure it's that guy. Like something happened, his tongue got bit because it's going to impact his ability to do his little silly commercials. Yeah, keep digging and see if you can find that story. I think that was him.
Yeah, I'll keep looking.
Oh well,
No,
that's what we need in Congress, right there.
yeah, we do. We need somebody who's going to beat up all those hookers in Congress. Because I mean, that's
right.
all they are.
Get them hookers out of there. All right, we'll see.
All right, buddy. Listen. A lot of those people, most of those people in Congress are prostitutes anyway. So if I'm Vince Offer, if I'm the ShamWow guy, I would do a campaign video and I would say, you remember me from 2019 beating up a prostitute. Well, guess what? I'm taking the fight to Congress, and I'm going to beat up all those prostitutes.
You would not make a good campaign manager, I don't think.
No, dude, that would go so viral.
I don't know.
ShamWow guy says he's done with hookers, according to South Florida NBC6. This is back in 2009. No experience is worth going through if you don't learn a lesson. Some wise man said that, we think, or it might be a new slogan for ShamWow pitchman Vince Shalomi. Shalomi recently told TMZ that he gave up on dealing with hookers after a South Beach ordeal earlier this year that made more news than those super absorbent thingies he hawks. In February, Shalomi and his hired honey got into a free-for-all in a hotel room that ended with Shalomi's tongue nearly bitten off and the prostitute being punched upside the head by the pitchman. Shalomi allegedly paid the woman $1,000 for straight sex, but got a little too frisky for her taste. So she bit his tongue. Bit his tongue off. Dang, bro. Daniel's right. He did get his tongue bit off.
Watch the Miami prostitutes. They crazy.
Well, I still say vote for him. Just see what happens. I mean, we've elected worse, have we not?
There's worse than there right now.
Yeah. I mean, getting your tongue bit off by a hooker, that ain't nothing but a life lesson, man.
I don't think it got bit off. It just got bit.
It's got bit.
Right.
Yeah. Well, you know, we all have things happen in our life.
I was never impressed with those damn ShamWow towels anyway.
I don't think I ever had any.
They were not. To me, they wasn't that great.
Well, you know, to each its own. ShamWow! Noto Roofing, N-O-T-O, roofing.com, notoroofing.com. Roofing company is the best. Noto Roofing. Nobody's better than these guys, and I want you to get with them and get your roof inspected. Free roof inspection, free complimentary roof tune-up. Nobody does it better than these guys. Come on, cuz. You hear me talk about them all the freaking time. And I'll probably tell you about them before the show's over again. That's how much I believe in them. NotoRoofing.com. Make sure you tell them Andrew McLean sent you. 205-848-2299. That's 848-2299. And online, NotoRoofing.com. Earnest Financial, retirewithernest.com, retirewithernest.com. David Ernest and his team waiting on your phone call. You're 55 or older, you got over 50K in your retirement. These guys can get you a plan put together, make sure your retirement grows, make sure you don't lose money, and it doesn't cost you anything. It doesn't cost you nothing. They simply put you in the right position and make sure you have a plan laid out for retirement and you get to do exactly what you want to do. It's really that simple. 833-596-7233. That's 205. I'm sorry. That's 833-596-7233. retirewithernest.com. Let me do this real quick because this piggybacks on the last story I talked about, which was like forever ago. But I was talking about the Brian Kemp deal and how he admitted that he shut down the investigation into what happened in Fulton County in 2021 based on the 2020 election. There's also new claims that the Office of D&I, Tulsi Gabbard, investigated Puerto Rico election machines for claims that Venezuela had hacked voting machines in the U.S. territory. This is crazy. And what would be wild is if we blow the 2020 election out of the water based on what happened in Puerto Rico. In June of 24, Puerto Rico encountered numerous problems while conducting their primary elections. Reports said that vote counts were reported as lower than the paper counts. Some voting systems reversed totals. That's kind of a big deal if they reverse the totals. That means if one candidate has 24% and the other candidate has 76%, it just swapped them. That's a problem. It says some voting systems reverse totals, while some reported 0 votes for certain candidates. The discrepancies were attributed to a software issue, according to the Puerto Rico Election Commission's interim president at the time. There wasn't much reporting on the American territory and the problems they had surrounding that election. However, it did cause the Election Commission in the territory to call into question its contract with Dominion Voting Systems prior to the November 2024 election. So in an exclusive story published on Wednesday by Reuters, they claimed that a team working for the DNI, working for Tulsi Gabbard, led an investigation into Puerto Rico's voting machines. It says the sources said the goal was to work with the FBI to investigate claims that Venezuela had hacked voting machines in Puerto Rico, but added the probe did not produce any clear evidence of Venezuelan interference in the U.S. territory's elections. Gabbard's office, in a statement to Reuters, confirmed the May investigation, but denied a link to Venezuela, saying its focus was on vulnerabilities in the island's electronic voting systems. Her team took an unspecified number of Puerto Rico's voting machines and additional copies of data from the machines as part of its investigation, according to a spokesperson. Source with direct knowledge of the investigation confirmed that the event in May did happen. The scope of the investigation was not specific to foreign influence. However, there was evidence of foreign involvement discovered, but no country was pointed out to specifically be the source. Further, authorities in Puerto Rico requested the investigation into the voting systems in the American territory following the software issues, quote unquote, from the previous election. And maybe it's not Venezuela, but it's probably somebody. We know these Dominion voting machines are shady, as shady as they get. One source confirmed that ODNI found extremely concerning cybersecurity and operational deployment practices that pose a significant risk to U.S. elections. And I think what you would see here is maybe the country of origin from which these machines were made or came from may not be directly involved in the hacking of voting machines, but they create within the machines themselves these vulnerabilities that allow other bad actors who they may be teamed up with to get into those machines, reverse totals, take votes out, or whatever. For example, Dominion voting systems were found to have their own login password hard-coded in plain text on the software. Georgians made T-shirts with DVS Corp 08 exclamation mark. The user login sadmin was available as well. This was initially uncovered by cyber ninjas during their Maricopa County audit in 2021 and was later discovered in 4 Georgia counties and 2 other states by Philip Davis. In 2007, California Secretary of State withdrew approval of Sequoia voting systems for the same issue, hard-coded passwords in plain text with the software. That was back when both Democrats and Republicans, in particular Democrats, would come out and say, these machines aren't trustworthy. Nancy Pelosi used to be all over that. She used to be like, we can't trust these voting machines. We got to use paper ballots. And then one day, there was a switch flipped. And Democrats loved electronic voting machines, hated paper ballots, and hated voter ID. Just came out of nowhere. It's wild. It's wild how that happened. They only claimed election fraud when they lost. Now, on the other side of that, people are like, well, that's what Republicans do. Republicans only done it once. Like, they weren't claiming cheating in previous elections. Although there was some shenanigans going on, as there is in every election. Like, during one of Obama's elections, Black Panthers standing out in front of voting precincts in Philadelphia with billy clubs. But I get it. Whatever. It is what it is. But that's interesting, and I'll see if anything pops up on that front. But that's all conspiracy theory, QAnon nonsense at the end of the day, right? There was the first thing I saw when I woke up this morning was a video of Bill Maher on Stephen A. Smith's show called Straight Shooter. And when I watched this video, I could not believe my ears. Bill Maher, seemingly, in this clip, apologizes to QAnon and said that they got some stuff right.
What were your thoughts about the Epstein files and 3 million pages being released? And, now we are hearing that Bill and Hillary Clinton have both agreed to testify in the House ahead of the contempt of Congress vote. What are your thoughts about that?
Well, I mean, this is certainly something we were talking in my meeting today about what I'm going to talk about on the show Friday, because it's just too interesting. And also, I can't believe I'm saying this, but where does QAnon go for the apology? I mean, QAnon, which believed in lots of really ridiculous things like, Democrats eat babies. Yeah. But they were kind of harping a lot on the idea that the elites are running this pedophile ring. And I mean, I made jokes about them. I also made jokes after the Epstein thing happened originally that were on the idea of, well, obviously there was some smoke there. Well, now with all that's come out in the last couple of weeks, there's a little more than smoke. It does look like anybody who was at all able to get in touch with Jeffrey Epstein, he was the man.
We're doing it.
They just, yeah. I mean, and then they all lied about it. Everybody has, and the arrogance also of thinking they could just use their real name in an email, which they did, and didn't try to couch it in, when I used to get pot before it was legal, it was like, I'd like 2 shirts, please, and no seeds in the shirts this time. You had to sort of codify it. No, they're just openly talking in emails about this sort of, sexual perversion, and that they were all doing, and lots of people who you didn't think, or I never imagined were doing it. I see these names come up. So, I mean, QAnon, yes, a lot of crazy there, but you know what? You weren't totally wrong about that, guys.
Is that not crazy? Did I hear that right, Gary?
I think you did.
Did Bill Maher just apologize to QAnon?
He's starting to come around a little bit. A little bit.
Boy, if you had that on your bingo card, you deserve a prize, my friend. Bill Maher in 2026 apologizes to QAnon. Crazy times. I'm going to make this promise to the audience is that when I get back on Monday, I'm going to do a much better job of reporting the news. I don't report the news. I just give you all my opinion on the news. But you get what I'm saying. Like, by the time I come back Monday, I will be a lot less. Like, I've been very ADD today. I've had a lot going on, and so it's been hard for me to. And it's Friday. It's supposed to be Fun King Friday, but I didn't have Damien. I didn't have Matt Murphy, which, by the way, his whole moving, he moved homes, and apparently it has him down in his back. And so he texted me and he was like, well, I was thinking about still doing your show because he's not able to do his own show today. He was like, I was going to do your show, but I'm all hyped up on Oxycontin. And I was like, well, I mean,
That's the best version of Matt.
that's kind of the Matt Murphy that we want. I was like, but I don't want to pressure you. I said, get some rest. We'll get with you come next week. And we'll all be very excited to hear from you. With that said, let me tell you about Mandu. MANDUU.com. Mandu.com. Mandu.com. Which sounds like the name of some Indian guy that calls you to tell you about your car's extended warranty, but it's not. It's not at all what it is. What it is it is a advanced technological advancement for getting yourself in shape. And y'all know this very well. I've been doing Mandu since 2022. And as a matter of fact, for those of you that follow my man John Bird on social media, he posted a picture of me and him from back when we used to do those Facebook videos. And it was either right before or right at when I started Mandu. And I looked like I'd been attacked by a bunch of bees. Like I was swole up. And I look like a completely different person now. And it's all thanks to Mandu. The credit goes nowhere else. Literally, it was all Mandu getting me motivated to start paying attention to my health. And now I can go to the doctor and not worry about him saying, oh, I got to put you on blood pressure medicine. I got to put you on this. They ain't got to put me on nothing. I mean, they throw me a few Xanax here and there, but I don't have to be on medication because all my levels are good. And the more I do Mandu, the better it gets. I want that for you, whether you're a man or woman, whether you're 18 years old or 80 years old. I'm telling you, there's no category where it's like, no, you absolutely cannot. If you got bad knees, you got a bad back, especially for those of you that have back problems, this can make all the difference in the world for you. It's a 15-minute workout that is your personal. You got a personal trainer that walks you through it, tells you exactly what to do. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to do this. Like you really don't even have to have two brain cells. You probably can get by with one because you're just following the leader. They show you what to do. You do what they say for 15 minutes and then you're out of there. And you can do it once, twice, 3 times a week, whatever works with your schedule, in and out, 15-minute workout, man. It will change your life. And as you know, the one I go to is here in Homewood, Mandu, Birmingham, Mandu, Homewood. You can get a free session there or at any of the other Mandu locations. We've got one in Huntsville that's already open, and we've got one in Tuscaloosa that from what I heard, they might be open next Friday, like a week from now. Don't quote me on that because I haven't talked to Randy, who runs those Mandus, in a few days, but that was the last I heard. So I will give you, for those of y'all that listen, as soon as Tuscaloosa Mandu's open, I'm going to tell you about it because we got a lot of listeners in Tuscaloosa. But for now, if you got questions about it or anything, call Mandu in Homewood, 205-438-6003. I got a Mandu session today, so I'll be there. I'm not going to sit here and tell you about Mandu if I don't do it myself. Like, I'm a believer in it, and I've been doing it for 3 years now. You think I'd be doing this 3 years later if it didn't work? Mandu.com. MANDUU.com. Call them and get that free session, baby. And let them know why I sent you. All right, Carrie. If you are ready, it is time, ladies and gentlemen, for the Wheel of Segments. Oh, this better be something good.
Dumb ways to
Dumb ways to
die.
die! Yes, it's my favorite.
Set fire to your hair.
Oh, yeah.
Poke
Don't do that.
Eat medicine that's out of date. Use your private parts as piranha bait.
Everybody.
Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die. Dumb ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
Does everybody know where that originated? It was a game, like an app you download on your phone, and you're like this little jelly bean guy, and you got to like avoid all these things that. I think you had to kill yourself to win the game.
That sounds like a horrible game.
Yeah. And it was just all these weird
A game you don't want to win, apparently.
Well, it was like you had to take a fork and stick it in a light socket in order to win or something like that.
That wouldn't kill you. That'd be
And
shock
actually,
you.
the dumb ways to die dance is an emote on Fortnite. You know, emotes are like you can make your character do a particular dance or whatever. You can do the dumb ways to die dance on Fortnite now.
Really?
Yeah.
That's a game too.
Fortnite? Yeah. Yes. We play. Listen, me and Trish play Fortnite all the time. They just did an update, so like a new season and stuff. And they've got this new weapon. It's called a lock-on AR, and basically you just kind of point the AR in the direction of the opposing team, and the bullets will like.
Really?
It's like heat-seeking bullets.
That's pretty nice. Pretty good
That's
gun to
what
have.
I need because I'm not a good shot. I'm not very good at that game. But my wife is, and she always gets mad at me when I don't stay with the team.
What do you mean? You change teams?
No. Like when we're running around the map, like
Oh.
she says, "Stay with the team. What are you doing?"
You don't have her 6, is what she's saying.
Yeah, I don't have her 6, and she's like, "I'm gonna divorce you if you don't stay with the team." She never said that, but I bet you she's thought about it.
When she gets shot, yeah, I bet she is mad.
All right, here we go. First headline of the day: 83-year-old man dies. We need you on the screen. Okay, come on, man, come on. There we go. Come on, you know it's important to do that,
Yeah.
especially today on a Friday.
Yeah, that's
We
true.
need you on there.
Good point.
83-year-old man dies after being trapped in a northwestern Iowa grain bin. And now I'm no farmer, but a grain bin is one of those giant
Yes.
silos, right?
Correct.
And if you get in, I got to imagine if you fall into one of those and say it's halfway full of grain, it's probably like quicksand. Like you probably
Yeah.
start sinking.
You better have a way out quick.
Authorities responded to a rescue situation at a grain bin in Crawford County in northwest Iowa. Crawford County Emergency Management says at about 9:53 a.m. on Thursday, February 5th, this was yesterday, reports came in of an individual trapped in a grain bin near Charter Oak. A countywide all-call was performed to ensure that appropriate equipment, personnel, and resources were responding to the scene. Upon arrival, initial personnel were informed by bystanders that the victim was still trapped in the grain bin and no communication had been made between them and the victim. Responding personnel began cutting access holes into the side of the grain bin to aid in grain removal. According to the Crawford County Emergency Management, while the victim was being taken out of the bin, an air medical helicopter was requested. After the victim was extracted from the grain bin, officials say immediate life-saving procedures were initiated. Despite their efforts, the victim was declared deceased at the scene by medical personnel. Officials identified the victim as 83-year-old Robert Kroll of Charter Oak. Mr. Kroll's family has been notified. Multiple agencies responded to the grain bin rescue, including a whole slew of people. That's sad.
That's not.
And who's got the 83-year-old at the top of the grain bin? Yeah, there ain't no need to be. I understand. He was probably a guy that like just didn't want to stop working, and got all the respect in the world for that.
Lost his balance.
Yeah.
Fell in, and that was all she wrote.
Because if you're at 83 years old, where you can still work, and you can, you can do stuff, but you just got to be limited.
I blame Trump, because if he still had illegals to help him on his farm, he never would have been up there.
Crap! It was Trump's fault.
So,
next up, controversial suicide pod inventor reveals new AI-powered feature to allow couples to die simultaneously.
That's so romantic.
Would you and your wife do that?
She would send me there. She wouldn't go.
She would get in there with you, then all of a
She's
sudden
like,
that you turn it on and she jumps out.
Yep.
A year after a controversial assisted dying device was used for the first time, its inventor said he is preparing a new version designed for two. The Sarcopod, a 3D printed capsule that allows a user to trigger a nitrogen release, entered the global spotlight in 2024 after a 64-year-old American woman used it in Switzerland. The episode quickly spiraled into a police investigation, with authorities seizing the device and detaining those present before later ruling out intentional homicide. Now, Philip Nitschke, the Australian-born physician behind Sarco, says development is underway on a larger AI-enabled model built specifically for couples who want to die together. I mean, if that's what you want, I can see, like a Romeo Juliet kind of, maybe you're both ailing, maybe your wife's ailing and you're like, I can't live without her.
Maybe you should go to church before you decide what to do.
Yeah, maybe you should talk to your Lord and Savior and make sure you have a relationship first. Nitschke said interest has already come from couples, including one from Britain, who told him they wanted to die in each other's arms. The new design, sometimes referred to as the Double Dutch, Sarco, would be large enough for two people and require a synchronized decision. Both occupants must press their buttons at the same time or the device will not activate. The original Sarco capsule works by flooding its chambers with nitrogen, rendering the occupant unconscious within seconds and causing death shortly afterwards. Nitschke said the woman who used the pod last year pressed the button almost immediately, explaining that she really wanted to die in the device and had read about it beforehand. Well, yeah, it's probably good that she read about it beforehand.
They should send some to the Alabama prison system.
Yeah. I save some money. They've set a date. I guess they're getting ready to execute somebody else. And the guy's like in his 70s or 80s, and he committed a murder or something, or
45 years ago.
Yeah, and it's like, why y'all wait till they're almost dead before you do that? Like, what's the point?
That's just stupid, man.
Beyond its size, the next iteration introduces a feature he says was unfinished during the first use: artificial intelligence designed to assess mental capacity, should I say. One of the parts of the device which hadn't been finished but is now finished is the AI. Instead of traditional psychiatric evaluation, future users would complete an online test administered by an AI avatar.
What kind of test you got to take?
Traditionally, this is done by talking to a psychiatrist for 5 minutes, and we did that. But with the new Double Dutch, we'll have the software incorporated, so you'll have to do your little test online with an avatar, and if you pass that test, then the avatar tells you that you've got mental capacity. Just fill out your little test.
Yeah, I think you can die.
It's like going and buying, boner pills online. They're like, you just talk to our little physician online.
Oh, okay, yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Is that what you do?
No, I deal with Alabama Men's Clinic.
Cool.
Passing the test would power the pod for a 24-hour window. After that assessment would need to be taken again. Nitschke said most components of the dual pod have already been produced and that the device could be assembled within months. Even so, the future hinges on Swiss authorities, who have yet to approve the technology. On the day that Sarco was first used, Switzerland's interior minister said the device was not legal, a statement that helped trigger the initial investigation. The inquiry ultimately ended without charges, but the debate over assisted dying and the machines built to facilitate it is far from settled. If you're struggling with suicidal thoughts or experiencing a mental health crisis and live in New York City, you can call 1-888-NYC-WELL for free and confidential crisis counseling. Oh, that's just that. In case I was reading this story out of curiosity in the pod. Suicide's never the answer. I want everybody to know that anybody in this audience that is struggling, and there are, I know that there are people in this audience that are struggling as I speak. Suicide is not the way. I'm going to tell you right there. You think today's bad, tomorrow's going to be better. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to tell you right now, tomorrow's going to be better. Plus, we love you and we want to keep you around. And last but not least, on Dumb Ways to Die, headline, Olive Garden cook kills himself by dunking his head into searing hot deep fryer.
That is the dumbest way I've ever heard to die.
An Olive Garden worker has died after he dunked his own head into a searing hot deep fryer, and his co-workers frantically tried to thwart his gruesome suicide. The employee, who hasn't been identified, stripped his clothes off and thrust his face into the fryer at the chain's restaurant in Williamsport, Pennsylvania last Friday afternoon. On the Grim 911 audio, it says a male victim went headfirst into the fryers. I don't have a lot of details. A lot of people screaming, some kind of a burn victim. The cook was rushed to a nearby hospital to be treated for his severe burns, but later died from his injuries. A female employee suffered minor burns after she and several other workers tried to stop the cook from injuring himself even further. At least one customer also tried to intervene. What's the customers doing back there?
That's a good question.
Both Olive Garden and authorities refused to release any details about the ordeal, only describing it as a suicide attempt. The restaurant shut down for several days in the wake of the incident, but has since reopened.
It's
only been a week.
Don't order any fried food from the Olive Garden, wherever that is.
And you can't open back up that soon, dude.
Nope.
If you're struggling with suicidal thoughts or experiencing mental health crisis and you live in New York, call 188-NYC-WELL. All of these say that. What about Alabama? What's the Alabama number? That's what I need.
I don't have it.
I'll get it. Alabama mental health number. Is that what it would be? It's got to be something short.
Suicide hotline.
That's what I need. Alabama. Of course, this is not what I need in my algorithm, but that is. There's one for 9. It's just 988. I don't know if that's Alabama or just nationwide. Yeah, 988. Alabama Department of Mental Health. So, just in case, I just want to be safe. In case anybody out there is struggling, please know that I love you and Gary loves you. And don't go stick your damn head in an
hot grease.
deep fryer, man. Don't do that. And that's what we call Dumb Ways to Die.
Ways to die. So many dumb ways to die.
UnderdogFantasy.com and the Underdog Fantasy app. Yes, sir. Underdog Fantasy. Big game coming up this Sunday. This is the last time I'm going to tell you about it. And I cannot describe to you how important it is for you to download the app, use my promo code, HeyNow, all one word, get in there and get some money, win some money. I feel it. I feel it in my bones that you, yes, I'm talking to you, are going to win some money on Underdog. But you're not going to be able to do it unless you download the app. It's free to download, free to sign up, free to use my promo code. And when you use my promo code, you're going to get $75 in bonus fantasy entries when you play your first $5. How can you beat that? Download it, man. Do it for me. I mean, you're doing me a solid by going on there, signing up, and using my promo code. And take your time. You don't have to immediately start using it. Just download it, sign up, use the promo code, look around, and see what you think. So what are you waiting for? Download the app today and use promo code HeyNow to score $75 in fantasy bonus entries when you play your first $5 on fantasy. That's promo code HeyNow. Underdog. Make plays. Win money. Must be 19 or older and present in Alabama. Terms apply. See assets.underdogfantasy.com/web/play and get terms _DFS_.html for details concerned with your playing. Call 1-800-GAMBLER or visit ncbgambling.org. Okay. The text line, man. New Olive Garden lunch special. Fried face. That's so inappropriate, guys. Craig says, why did he have to get naked to stick his face in the hot grease? Just make other people feel uncomfortable when dealing with your dead ass. Grumpy Old Goat says, I really hope that Olive Garden changed that grease out before reopening. That's the problem. We don't know. Jeff says, I think you need to do a mental acuity test before people vote. Bubba says, the Sarco capsule sounds like a good cure for chronic TDS. See, y'all are crazy. All right, Noto Roofing, NOTOroofing.com, 848-2299. That is 205-848-2299. NotoRoofing.com. What else is there for me to say about Noto? Nothing other than these guys are the best of the best, and with a million different roofing companies out there, you don't need to take your chances on just picking one. Pick the best of the best. Make sure you tell them you're part of the Hey Now Nation. Get your free roof inspection and your complimentary roof tune-up. 205-848-2299 online, NotoRoofing.com. All right, that's a wrap for the week. Carrie, I want to just say thanks for all you do, buddy.
Oh, thank you, man.
And all you've done. You and I have been together for...
It's been a year now.
It's been about a year. And I think we've made the best of it.
Absolutely.
So, but
I'll see you Tuesday, though.
Yeah, I'll be here. You'll be here. Everybody will be here. It's going to be a good time. Carrie, actually on the morning show Monday, but I'll be here, and we'll keep rocking and rolling. Y'all have a fantastic weekend. Leland Live up next. Until next time, see you, cut.